about creating a good responsive search ad. If you're running search campaigns, you need to have responsive search ads because those are the ones that people are going to see when they search on Google. So they should really be targeted to what people are looking for. So I'll quickly go into my campaign. I'll show you from my campaign so we can see what's going on. So I've got my campaign there where I promote my Google services. Let's change the date. And then I could say, let me go into this ad group. So if I click on the ad group, I can then go to the ad right there. And I've got a few ad groups, a few ads going on in this ad group. So if I wanted, I could create a new one and go responsive search ads, and then it brings up um, some information. It's going to populate it because I already have ads which are running. So it takes from already what's there. So what we can do is let's just assume we're creating it from scratch. And as you see at the top, when you're starting, obviously a new ad, it's not going to have an ad strength. So in this case, it's actually good. Now the ad strength is determined by these factors. So you need to add more headlines. At the moment, we've got 15 headlines. So trying to use up to all 15 is a good idea. Also include popular keywords in your headlines. Yeah, that really helps people to click. If someone searches for a key with a particular keyword, and if they see it in the headline, they're likely to reach out and contact you and stuff like that, or even purchase and so forth. Make your headlines more unique. So sometimes I see some ads written by advertisers, and they have a lot of the text is very similar, just repeating the same thing. So we need to avoid that and make your descriptions more unique. So you can see that. And based on what you already have in the ad group, it will also give you some suggestions right here. Headlines for your ad, and it gives you some suggestions. Says you have selected all 15 headlines. To add a new headline, remove an existing one. Yeah, so in this case, I've already got all 15. But let's just assume we don't have all of these. I just need to show you guys a few things that we can look at. So if we come to the top, we can see final URL. So final URL is where we want people to go to. So this is the landing page, what we tend to call the landing page. So make it as relevant as possible to the promise that you've made in the ad. It should really be closely related in that point so that people don't get to your website and then they start searching around for what you promised. People shouldn't search again when they come onto your website. They should find exactly what they need. And then we've got the display parts. Display parts, if you notice right here, this is saying what the URL will look like. You can, if you want, put your keywords in here, maybe not capital, but if I put them like this and then go Google Ads Expert. So it's not saying that's the the correct URL. It's just making it look relevant to people's searches because they are not going to show the full final URL because this tends to be long on average. Now adding this is more like a display URL, which makes it look relevant. So what you want to add here is your main keyword, your primary keyword for that ad group. You should know that, and that's important. Again, Google now has got a lot of AI tools. It says the headlines and descriptions for this ad have been pre-filled with suggestions from your final URL. You can also get more help by chatting with Google AI. So let's go chat, and then it gives us this option and helps us to maybe if we want to update our ads headlines and descriptions, we can do so. So if you see the headlines, as I mentioned, we've got 15. So you've got up to 15. The way responsive search ads work is that, yes, this is an ad, but what really happens is the actual ad is created at auction time. So this is quite unique from previous ads before, because previously we had expanded text ads and standard ads. What you added there was what people saw, but now the system can juggle and put together the best ad based on the context. So the context means what the person searched with, where they are located, and other things like that. So that's created at auction time. So the chat also helps us to create some of those. And you can see right here, when I clicked on chat, it says, I generated the following assets for you to review 15 headlines, but you can always talk to me to get some more. So if I want some more, I can get some more. I can review images. Yeah, if I wanted to add some, don't save, even things like site links and so forth. I can always do that. So if we come here, yeah, I can say, well, I've still got some space there, and then it will suggest other content ideas based on your website and existing ad. So you can add some of those. Um, you will notice right here we've got required, required, required. So the minimum headline you should have is 3. And that's really important. And try and put your main keyword should be in there, and also put a call to action, what you want people to do. So things like request a quote, if that's a something you want to do. You can put multiple calls to action. It's up to you. You can also look at suggestions. Yeah, right here with the competition. Maybe that's one you could add if you haven't added it exactly. Mike is an ad with expert. Anything that's relevant that will get people contact you and stuff. Don't put anything just for the sake of it, because you don't want anything in there that will use up your budget and is not so great. So you need to make sure it's relevant and get people clicking, and so you can get a good click-through rate. Yeah, so try and put there. I mean, what you also want to do is put benefits. So what do people get? What are some of the results, and so on and so forth. So that's key. And then also you want to put descriptions. What are you promoting? In this case, we're promoting a Google Ads expert and putting content around that. So that's really key. And then when you've done that, this is what you start to get in the ads and so forth, and that's key. You can also put a syntax like keyword insertion, and that goes, let's go Google Ads expert. Yeah, you put your keyword there, and then you go title case. So that will make sure that the first letter in every word is capitalized. This makes it stand out for people and makes it look very relevant. Then if you click apply, it creates this syntax keyword colon in curly brackets. What this does is that it changes. Can you see the ad strength has gone up to excellent? It changes the keyword, the headline, based on the keyword that they use to search. If it's one of the keywords in your ad group, it's going to change it. So that's a very powerful way to get people contacting you. Another thing that you can do is you can use another uh, syntax, a location syntax. So you could say ad expert in, let me show you this. So open curly brackets, location insertion, and then put city. I can put a default one, or I can just leave it empty. So wherever people are, they're going to see that. And if they see it, and it really shows them the actual location that they're in, they will then believe, oh, this company or this person serves my area. And so that will be great, and will get them to contact you. So that's really good, and something I do recommend that you do something like that. Yeah. And so it's the way you create it is really up to you, but you just need to make sure your ads are really targeted and good. Don't worry too much about the ad strength, but do try and obviously improve it. The main thing is just to make sure that it's relevant for you. And if you wanted, you can pin some of these and say, I want to pin it in position 1, and then it will pin it in position one there, and it will change it because I think I'm using a syntax based on the keyword. But if you pin, the ad strength goes down. Yeah, because Google doesn't really want you pinning. But it's really up to you. Don't worry too much about that. The ad strength. Just make sure you're doing stuff that is relevant for you. So that's how you create your responsive search ads and make it as relevant as possible.